Good morning. It's Power Rankings time. Thought I'd start something new this week, doing a little waiver report. A lot of you guys make awful decisions, and I feel the need to call you out on them. So first, the one and only bid for Knile Davis, the lone running back on Green Bay's roster, was by Eric for $23. Some will say that this is a handcuff since he has Eddie Lacy, but knowing that the Packers are garbage this year, and they don't know how much of a workload he's going to get, and when Eddie Lacy's coming back, I don't know if he was worth that much money. Second, we have myself for Jaquiz Rodgers because, Doug Martin's never going to be healthy again, and Charles Sims sucked and hurt himself, and the rest of Tampa Bay is just a cluster. So I paid $15 for him. There were a couple of other bids for Jaquiz. One was by Chris, and that was for $8. Another one was by Andrew for $8, and then Jared tried for $4. But, if you guys really wanted him, you weren't as desperate as I was. Then after that, we have myself for Matt Asiata because my team sucks and I have no running backs. So I just need all the help I can get. I paid $15 for him, which is probably way too much money. Then we have Ty Montgomery, added by Chris from Green Bay. I think Chris is hoping that he can continue with his 15-point streak. The rest of the year, he has literally gotten 1 or 0 points, so we'll see if this boom works out for him. Some other people who bid on Ty Montgomery were Dan, that was for $5, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's the only person there. Next, we have the Ravens, who was added by Evan and beat out Andrew for an $8 bid. They both bid the same amount of money, but Evan was higher on the waiver order because he is a worse team than Andrew. Then we have Colin Kaepernick, who had a good first outing, and I guess Ryan is hoping that he continues in those ways. He paid $5 for him, and nobody else bid on him. Next, we have Ryan again, who bid another $5 for Sam Bradford, who I am rooting hard for Sammy Two Sleeves because the better he does, the better the Eagles get a draft pick in 2018. Then we have Evan with Charles Clay, and he was the lone bidder at $5. And then we have Vernon Davis, who was added by Kevin. I think this is a bye week pickup, but I'm not quite sure. But he paid $5 for Vernon Davis. Then we have Mike Jared paid $3 for him. I was the other bidder at $1 for him. This is the running back in Buffalo because Shady McCoy just got hurt yesterday. He has some hamstring problems. So Jared and I were both hoping that we could capitalize on a hurt LaShawn. So then we have myself, who has been streaming defenses pretty much this entire year since J.J. Watt got hurt and Houston is garbage. So I picked up the Buccaneers for $2. Then we have myself, who picked up Carlos Santos for $0 because Graham Cano is on a bye this week. And then there was Jared, who picked up Mike Nugent from Cincinnati for $0 as well. So way to go, us two, for not overpaying for anybody. So now on to the power rankings. In 12th, we have myself, who can't buy a win in this league, and if I could get it, I'm sure I'd move up to maybe 10th. Then in 11th, we've got Zach, who has just been my company for misery this whole season. 10th, there is Matt, who has Brady. He is the first person who has 9s across the board and has averaged 10 in the power rankings. So I don't understand how that happens, but that's what happens. Then we have Brian coming in at 9th. He's his best category is overall wins. Everything else, his consistency is not that good, but it's not that bad. His points for is not that good, not that bad. His worst thing is his record. If his record were to change, he would be doing better. In 8th, we have Eric, whose record is probably the only thing that's keeping him above water right now. And he's doing pretty well, so maybe there's something wrong with the power rankings, but I have no idea. Then we have Ryan in 7th. His record is keeping him up. He's on that 3-win streak, but his roster is ranked last. So do something about that, Ryan. Then we have Dan at 6th. His best thing is his roster and his record. His roster is ranked 4th overall, and his record is a solid 5th. Then we have Chris, who is pretty average across the board. He's got a lot of 5s. His roster is his worst thing. Got that Todd Gurley going for him. We'll see if that works out in the rest of the season. Todd Gurley's yards per carry has been really low, and he also has the highest rate of yards after contact. And then we have Evan in 4th. Evan's roster is actually ranked number 1, but his record is not the best. His consistency is okay. His points for is great. He's second in that, but his record, his overall wins are dragging him down the table. Andrew, whose record is 1st, but his roster is 6th, so we'll see if getting rid of some of the dead weight will help move him up the table. Then we have Jared, who has been sitting high this whole year in the table. His record's 1st. His roster is 2nd. The only thing that is hurting him right now is his consistency. So he hasn't averaged a high amount of points this whole season. He's had some big deviations, so that's what's bringing him down. First is Kevin. Way to go, Kevin. Your 1s across the board, except for your roster. That's 3rd, apparently, according to ESPN.